Hi, One Best Beer Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 17 in the NFL right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. And right now we're going to take a look at the game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Well, what do you know? Joe Duffy. I don't know if you read the comments from the videos that I do with other people other than you, but I covered the Panthers game last week with two different cappers. Both of them and myself gave the opinion that Atlanta was a good bet, and we got reamed. Excoriated. Do you know what excoriated means, Joe Duffy?
I definitely do. I am a wordsmith, a sesquipedalian, in fact.
It means they ripped the flesh off of us, proverbially, right, for picking the Atlanta Falcons. And one of the cappers said that Atlanta might be a threat to win. The guy was called a retard. They said that he didn't know anything about football. Well, look what happened. All right. Gloating time is over, though. Now we have Carolina minus 10.5 at home. Totals 47 or 47.5. And this is definitely a tough one, though. I definitely have no opinion as of right now. The Bucs have been bad, right? They lost again straight up. This time, as a home favorite against the beatable Bears. That makes 3 straight up and ATS losses by a margin for the Bucs. But they did get a little bit unlucky in the Bears loss, right? They had a couple of fumbles that really changed the momentum and changed the final score significantly. So they're a team with some fight to them, and this is their last game of the year. Carolina, of course, an awesome team, but they are definitely looking forward to the playoffs, and they're given 10.5 points here. I could see this one going either way as far as the spread's concerned. Don't see a loss by Carolina, that's for sure. What do you think, Joe? Do you have anything to say about these lines?
I do, but Peter, I don't like the fact that you said end of gloating, because I had the Falcons as a premium play.
Oh, you did?
The under. I did have it against the spread and also the under, but yeah, those key what do they call them? Keyboard warriors. You just don't want to waste your time with that. And remember what I always tell you.
I love wasting my time with that. But look, it's handicapping. Making predictions before the game, after the game, obviously very easy. Making predictions before the game, not as easy as it looks.
Yes, they do. But anyway, to this game, let's not finish gloating, though. That was part of a nice winning week for us. Look, the Panthers, a lot of my regular clients might say, look, the Panthers fit into my famed bubble burst, which eventually says when a team, basically says when a team has a humongous winning streak snapped, it doesn't necessarily have to be their first loss of the year. It could be a long winning streak that usually go against the team. But in professional sports, in both basketball and in the NFL, the exception is when that team returns home. For example, the Golden State Warriors earlier this year, when they finally lost their first game, they came back. Their next game was at home. I think it was against the Phoenix Suns, and they wound up crushing them. And it is true here. In fact, when a home team is coming off of having an 11-game or more winning streak snapped, obviously very rare, but they're 4-1 against the spread. And in the case here, the Panthers have clear motivation. Look, they still have not clinched home field advantage, but I think even more importantly than that, you don't want to go into the season all of a sudden after people were asking if you're going to go 16-0 and then go into the postseason with 2 straight losses. So I think this game is big for Carolina. But, in the case of Tampa, they were kind of a team that I like, a young team that really has at least wants to play for some momentum going into the postseason, but it hasn't really worked out all that well. And yet again, I think the odds makers kind of have it right. Carolina should be the big favorite here, but maybe if anything, they're a little bit too big of a favorite. I do think the Panthers are going to win here. I know that's not going that far out on the limit. It might be a little bit too many points, especially the way the Panthers have been playing as of late.
Yeah, my sense is that Tampa Bay is a little bit better than what they looked based on their final scores in recent games. Certainly the final score from their last game against the Bears, which I think arguably they should have won. All right, so Joe Duffy, we have Carolina minus 10.5. Total of 47.5. Do you want to give a public play on this one? And be careful.
I will definitely lean a little bit towards Tampa. We'll make it a public play. And I know if you don't want to get ripped before a game starts, I'll just pick all favorites. I realize that. But I'm more important about being judged after the games are over.
All right, Joe Duffy going with Tampa Bay plus 10.5. Let me just start things off, okay, Joe Duffy? A, you're retarded. B, you don't know what you're talking about. C, you don't know anything about football. D, I don't think you ever watch football. And I'm sure we'll get a lot of dittos for that in our comments. Joe Duffy liking Tampa Bay plus 10.5. Joe Duffy, tell us about your website, OffshoreInsiders.com.
I definitely watch plenty of football. That's for sure. But, remember the keyboard warriors, they really like to second guess you with the road favorites more than the road underdogs. But you're right. That's fine. Let them have all kinds of fun. I guarantee guarantee you that no long-term client's going to be making a comment like that. They'll be laughing at the comments just like I will. I tend not to read them for the reasons we talked about. Anyway, Joe Duffy's picks, 28 and a half years of public winning, one of the few people in the world who's done it full-time for more than 2 decades. Again, it's bowl week, so whatever day you're watching this, please visit offshoreinsiders.com with all the details about what we got.
Thanks, Joe.